Ladies, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim or Cimnanya. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash that subscribe button and turn your notification so you are notified each time I upload. And please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all so much, and I am saying a very big shout out to every one of you for the love, the support you all shower me here with. I am grateful, and you all are super sweet. So a palm-colored man actually made a video saying that a liberal will not listen to a conservative, right? And then he said the libtards always want to play victim, be a patrioid. And I was like, wait, is it this conservative that I know, or there is something else that I don't understand about this? And this better be satire, because it is looking like satire for him to come on here. I mean, showing how delusional and insanity he is. Then he went further to actually say that, you all already know that most of the fundings that is coming goes straight to the red states, and then the blue states suffers. Like, fundings are not getting to the blue state, even if it is coming, it is like maybe 100 over 20. I mean, 100 for the red state, maybe 20 to the blue states and all that. So a lot of people actually called him out on his bullshit, because everybody thinks like he's being stupid and coming out to show his stupidity and the rest of it. And a lot of people actually asked him, is it not you people that also vote against your own interest? You can imagine voting against your own interest just because you want to prove that you're a conservative and all that. I mean, that is really very ridiculous. And him coming out here on the internet to show himself, to show how dumb he is like, wow. So I am going to roll this clip. We'll come back to talk about it. Let me know what you all think in the comments. So straight up, let's get into this.
I was thinking this morning the difference between a liberal and a conservative. A conservative will listen to a liberal. A liberal will not listen to a conservative. They want to get mad and angry and raise all kind of Cain if you don't agree with them. And compassion. If a liberal was starving to death, a conservative would give him food, heck, shirt off their back. Think a liberal would do that? Nah. They want to play victim. Blame you for something they've been doing. Beats all I've ever seen. Just thought of the day. A liberal was starving to death. A conservative would give him food.
Republicans literally do not want children to have free food at lunch. In fact, they are so against free food for any child that they're literally making a 2024 priority to make sure that students do not have access to food. So no, if a liberal was starving, a conservative wouldn't give them food. A conservative would laugh at them, tell them this is what you get for voting for Joe Biden. Then they'd probably tell something about pulling themselves by their own bootstraps and how no handouts. Meanwhile, their whole state's being subsidized by a blue state. But that's neither here nor there.
A conservative would give him food, heck, shirt.
Don't mind me, I look like a little mushroom because I'm gonna hop in the shower. And as someone who also has a great disdain for liberals because I believe that they want to placate in the face of bigotry and oppression and hate and racism, and instead want to use respectability politics, which I think is absolute bullshit, I want us to remember what side is trying to ban universal free school meals. And that's it. That's all.
A liberal was starving to death. A conservative would give him food.
Hi, conservative. Your typical blue-haired liberal here. I wanted to let you know that I heard you out, and I hope you know that you and I have very similar values, something that most of us would actually agree on. But what I didn't hear you talking about is what it is that you or your party is doing to actually take those values and affect change. Your entire party's stance is on the destruction of these social programs that conservative states benefit the most from. I didn't hear you talking about what you're going to do to make sure that the United States isn't in the top 10 countries with the most food insecure children in the world, or that the unhoused have that shirt on their back, or why we send people off to war more, don't even provide them with any aid when they return home. It doesn't seem very patriotic now, does it? It's one thing for conservatives to give more to charity every single year by dollar amount, but that money goes to churches and not to your actual local communities. Saying things like, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, don't be a victim, don't expect a handout is something very different than what it is you're expressing here.
Yeah. A conservative would give them food. Heck,
Not enough coffee in the world. But let's try to get into this, shall we? I just watched that video. And let me start off by saying, you can go back and watch it. But be forewarned, because my hair was normal before I watched that video. Even my hair went, what the fuck? He said, and he said a lot of things, but he said liberals don't talk to conservatives anymore. Yeah, because talking to a conservative is like talking to your toaster. Nothing. No reasoning with a toaster. There's no conversation with a toaster. And also, we liberals don't talk to conservatives for other reasons besides the toaster analogy. The term conservative has been hijacked. So when I hear conservative now, it's a really good bet that you could replace that word with racist, possible, or nationalist, possible, or fascist. Yeah, and once again, you'd have a better result talking to your toaster than to talk to that. And then he goes on to, and this was the bit that my hair went, fuck, that a conservative would feed you if you're hungry. A conservative would get their shirt off their back. Yeah. Self-proclaimed conservatives cut WIC programs. And for those of you who don't know what WIC is, it's a nutritional program for pregnant women and children. So maybe not feed them, right? Or they cut lunch programs, which feed children who maybe that's their only hot meal for the day. Yeah. So when you mean feeding people, do you mean feeding people at your potluck, at your church, or? I gotta go do something with this hair and drink more coffee because what the fuck? Oh my God.
a conservative would give them food. Heck, shirt off their back.
This is a joke, right? Yeah, no. This is why. A conservative would tell you, well, you should pick yourself up by your bootstraps, work harder. Maybe you wouldn't be in that situation. A conservative would tell you, well, if you can't afford to feed your kids, then don't have kids. Maybe you shouldn't open your legs. Maybe you shouldn't have had kids. Maybe you should get a better job. Maybe you should go to college. Maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you shouldn't do that. That's what a conservative would do. A conservative doesn't listen to you. If they're listening, it's to say something back, not because they're listening. Because if they were really listening, they would do something about what we're talking about, what we've been screaming about, what we've been asking for. But they don't. Conservatives voted to not give children free lunches in schools. But they'll give you food right off their table, their shirt right off their back. But they voted for children who have nothing in our world to do with anything. They voted for them to not be able to get free lunches in schools, while still voting to raise their stipends for food, even though they get paid $100,000 plus, And they also voted to increase their salaries, while those same children and their families are stuck in poverty. Yeah. Have many seeds, dude. Because you not only are delusional, you're very wrong. If that's what you think a conservative is, then you're not listening at all.
Message is like so and so. It's like whatever. It doesn't really.
A liberal will not listen to a conservative.
So the basis of this video is, so you don't have to go back and watch it, is this man believes that conservatives are a nicer group of people than liberals. I don't give a fuck which one is nicer than the other. I think people are just kind or shitty based off what kind of person they are. Like if you're talking political ideals, then that's a different story. But if you're talking about like a human on human basis, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are not that much of assholes. But that's neither here nor there. This man's message is like so and so. It's like whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. What gets me is he's trying to like spin this narrative that like, oh, conservatives are so kind. They're such good people. This word is a substitution word for a slur. Sorry, that wasn't that funny. But it's a substitution word for a slur for disabled people or people with like mental disabilities. I'm gonna sit here and go, oh my god, my party is so much kinder than these liberals. But in your title, use a slur adjacent word.
You know, I was thinking this morning.
If a conservative was really very kind, they would know how many average farts there were a day. The average adult farts 42 times a day. Or no, I'm sorry, 36 times a day. My child, though, who is 11 as of yesterday, she on average farts 100 times. And I don't mean quietly. I mean she could make her own little rocketed body off of a chair. We are surprised she has not blown a hole in the the couch. It's like 30 of them a day. She holds them in at school too. She will hold it in so like I don't think she even lets it squeak out. Usually they're supposed to like air out her once in a while, but she goes and holds the suckers in all day long. She probably don't even let them squeak out when she's walking. I mean, come on, how do you hold something in like that in such a little bitty body? But she get in the car, next thing you hear, whomp! It's like, how did you not lift off the seat or poop your pants? And then it's a continual thing all the way home. It's like, are you letting out the whole 27 feet of intestinal air? Is there not any brownies in there? I mean, and then we get home, and it will continue for a few hours, and we're like, please go to the bathroom. Empty yourself out. I don't have nothing in there. It's like you have to have something in there to be releasing that kind of air. I mean, come on. There's got to be some sort of backup brownage in there. Really? All day long. Just wah. I mean, she don't even blow holes in her drawers. There you go. No holes in the drawers. I'm like, come on, you could at least fart on the boys at school. But no, I'm like, you'd get a boyfriend if you farted on the boys at school. She's like, nope, I don't want a boyfriend. Well, then go fart on the girls. Well, no, then they make fun of them, man. Man. They make fun of you, just fart on them some more. Just like literally just lift that leg up and go, wah! They wouldn't mess with you after that. They'd be like, and then the boys would become her best friend, be like, ooh, this kid, she is the coolest girl in the school. She's the coolest girl we have ever met. She cooler than our sisters. Man, we gonna be best friends with her for life. Anybody mess with her, we gonna beat the hell up out them. Just saying. There, we can agree on something. And I'm not even liberal or conservative, so I'm more conservative than I'm liberal. But still, hey, but I sure as hell won't vote Lincoln. And wash my teeth.
The difference between a liberal and a conservative.
I feel like you're really missing the difference between conservatives and liberals. Regardless if you're a conservative or a liberal, if you're a good person, you would give the shirt off of your back for somebody else. I'm a liberal, and I have picked up homeless people off of the side of the road and bought them lunch and gotten them a haircut so that they could go to their job interview that they're trying to go to. There's not really a big difference between good people when it comes to that kind of thing. Liberal, conservative, it doesn't matter. The real difference between liberals and conservatives is that liberals are willing to change their opinions when presented with facts. Conservatives are not.
A conservative will give them food, heck, shirt off their back.
Are you really joking right now? Like, is this a joke? Seriously? No, not at least today's conservatives. No, not at all. Do you know what a conservative would do if, let's say, a liberal, a leftist, a communist, a socialist, whatever you want to say, do you know what, let's say, if we did ask you for food and we were homeless, do you know what you would say? You would say, "Oh, go get a job, you loser," or "Oh, you should pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you loser," or "Oh, maybe you should stop taking drugs, you loser," assuming that they are doing D words or something. Or if, let's say, we're not, let's say, part of the church or what have you, you would say, "Oh, well, maybe if you were, let's say, part of the church, then maybe we would help you. This is what happens when you don't have God in your life." And then you would shun us for not believing as well. I mean, a conservative right now, conservatives literally are trying to shut down progress within the country. I mean, we want to, let's say, move on to green energy. You all say, "Oh, you're going to kill jobs, you're going to kill oil and whatnot," not knowing that it's destroying the planet. And let's say, I just want to say, do you remember that debt ceiling that happened with Biden and McCarthy? Do you know what the conservatives what they did? They cut SNAP benefits. And do you know what they wanted to do? They wanted to cut Medicaid, Social Security. They wanted to cut basically, let's say, disability as well for the impoverished. And you all laughed at it and said it's a handout. You all think that all of these programs are entitlements, and then you say to these people, get a job, get a job. But let's say the minute that someone in your family or a friend has something, Odin forbid, happen to them, do you know what you do? You set up a GoFundMe saying, "Please help us, please help us." And you know what that is? That is socialism. Do you know why? Because GoFundMe means you're putting money into a pool, so that way you use that money to help pay for the actual medical bills. It's like socialized medicine. We also try to do that. You know what you call it? And you say how you'll help you'll help everyone and everything. You know what you do? You say, "Oh, socialized medicine is a government thing, and I don't want my tax dollars going towards helping people with cancer," or something like that. That's what you all do. Get your own damn healthcare, or get your own damn food. That's what you all do. I don't want to hear it. And then when we try to make plans, you call it socialism, communism, and say we're lazy or something. Just remember, those countries that do all those things, they still have to go to work the next day. So spare me the bull.
A liberal was starving to death. A conservative would give him.
Brian, why do you have to embarrass yourself like this? 42 House Republicans vote against extending free lunches over the summer. And by the way, all of them were Republicans. It was 376 to 42. All 42 were Republicans.
This is all I got from the stitches, and yeah, I mean, the comment section was so wild. A lot of people coming after him, telling him that he is so delusional and being gaslighting himself and the rest of it. And yeah, let's start with red state. You all know red states, like, you know, they take more funding than the blue states and all that. I mean, the government give them more funding, and the children also go hungry in red states more because, like, you know, they don't get enough funding. And like, you know, everything is, you all already know, redlining, and like in blue states, so many things are even like I talked about this on Cimnanya, about education, how people in red get more fundings for education than people in blue. That's why some students also, when you go to the blue, some students are lagging very much behind and all that. And also, and you all already know, red states actively, like on a regular, they vote against their own interest. And they are just not voting against their own interest, not because they don't know. They actually know somebody is not good for them. But sometimes they are like, how are we supposed to let these people, like, you know, be better and all that? For that reason, they will just vote against their own interest and then sit down on it, because when they do that, they still sit down on it to see what they voted, but they are gonna be happy because, like, you know. And like I keep saying, it's just like where they say the rich white man telling the poor white man that his problem or her problems are coming from black people and all that. So it's funny that this is a funny thing to, like, you know, see and all that. And also, he is a conservative, and then he decided to also use Justin Odin's whistle dog this thing, lip tarts. I mean, these people are really unbelievable most times, but then it is what it is. This is what they are. The comment section is so wild. So if you want to, some people are like, I am not even a Libra or something, but man, I am sure they do get called one and then summarily ignored by every conservative. You can actually go to the comment section and see what people are saying about it. I mean, like, very enlightening, and at the same, not enlightening, of course, you know, I am trying to, like, you know, and very dumb. There's just a very dumb something to say. And a lot of people actually shared their experiences with food, like children in school, where they said that the children should not even get food and all that. And he's out here, like, you know, blowing their own whistle. I mean, it's all good. This is where I'm going to draw the curtain. Let me know what you are thinking in the comments. So I see you all in my next video. Bye for now.